When our doctrine is more about the favor and blessing that accompanied Avram, then like Lot, we are more concerned with increase, essentially greed, than obedience. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3 of Torah portion Lecha. As we go into chapter number 13, we see that Avram has returned from Mitzrayim, or Egypt, greatly increased with goods, as has his nephew Lot. So we find then that there is a sod-level understanding from some of the deeper writings of the rabbinical minds that says that Avram's eyes were clouded over and that he did not walk in open prophetic vision because of his continuing relationship with Lot. Lot was not really rightly minded. He was more concerned about increasing his goods and living the good life than he was about furthering the advancement of the coming kingdom. This association then tainted Avram's eyes to the place that it hindered his prophetic vision. Now, we read in chapter 13 about the squabble that develops between the herdsmen, the shepherds, perhaps the pastors of the two men between Lot and Avram. Let's think about that just for a moment. There are the pastors then with the Lot mindset that promote to their flocks, to their herds, the ideals of increasing with goods. That faith really is exemplified at its highest level by the largeness of your bank account and the accompanying materialism. While Avram's shepherds or pastors would have been more about caring for the flock and seeing that the flock themselves are increased, well-fed, well-watered, that they are safely kept, and that the ideals of finding the kingdom, the city whose builder and maker is Elohim, that's what's important. When they realized that they could not live together, these two doctrinal ideals are incompatible one with the other. If we're given to materialism, if we're given to only enlarging our bank accounts, if our redemption is a mechanism to get rich, then we're not going to be compatible with the coming kingdom. Yeshua even said that those who were concerned with riches and wealth, that it would be hard for them to get into the kingdom of heaven, more like a camel trying to get through the eye of a needle. Now, there is something that is said to Avram once Lot left him. When Lot left and went his own way, the eyes of Avram are open and he enters again into open prophetic vision. From this chapter 13, beginning with verse number 14, we read this. And after Lot had separated from him, Yahweh said to Avram, now lift up your eyes again into open vision, and look from the place where you are, your present circumstance, northward and southward, eastward and westward. For all the land which you see, I shall give to you and your seed forever. So we're talking about Avram from where you are at this present moment and where your future is and your future generations. It's going to be centered in on this land. Now, we're talking about Eretz Israel properly. We're talking about the immediate revelation of what he is seeing. As he looks in the four directions and he sees the topography, the geography of the land, as he sees the expanse of it, Yah is saying to him, this land, this physical realm revelation is going to be yours and your descendants. However, there is more to it than that. When we look at what the word says here, he says, you are to look eastward, Kedim. The word for east is Kedem. It is a Kof, a Dalet, and a Mem. Its primal meaning is said to be before or in front of. It also is associated with the ideas of old or ancient. that which was first. So it's an interesting idea connecting to space and time. It's that which is in front of, but it's also that which is early. So it's in front of me, but it's also before me. So the idea is that which has been is that which shall be. That's Ecclesiastes 1:9. Let me say that again. That which has been is that which shall be. That is that Yah is forever, eternally the same. And when it comes to the values of our Elohim, they are never changing. So to look to the east is to remember where you were and understand the foundation of where you were is, in large part, a directive to where you're going to be. And it's not to say that we can't change our past. We can. But we can change our past because he who is our past, he who is in our past, is also our Redeemer to our new future. And so it is the eternal principles that I'm trying to say is that is going to be a part of our future generations. And then he says to look to the west. The word here is Yam, or a form of the word Yam, which is sea. So he is looking west toward the Mediterranean. That's the physical side. But what are we talking about on the spiritual side? Sea is a word that can talk about peoples. In Revelation 13, we see the anti-Mashiach steps up out of the sea. It's not that he steps up out of the water and lands on the seashore somewhere, but out of the sea of peoples, he suddenly moves forward and is recognized for whatever it is that he is going to do. And so Avram is looking forward to a sea of people. Who are these people? Abraham, Father, don't you recognize me? I may not look like you or talk as you have taught or use the same language, but I'm one of your descendants. I belong to you. I'm an Ivri, a Hebrew, just as you. And so there is a spiritual aspect of looking forward to a sea of peoples that are to come after him. Then it is the Negev, the word for the south. Negev gives us the idea of that which is dry, that which is barren, that which is a wilderness. There is a point in time where Avram's descendants are going to walk through dry, barren wilderness settings. This is not only accomplished in the generation that was in the wilderness, such as in the story of the Exodus, but there have been a variety of times throughout the history of the Hebrews where we have walked through dry, barren places, but also dry, barren generations, where we have failed to walk in the Ruach HaKodesh, where we have failed to have a fresh revelation and a fresh word of Yah to feed us and to strengthen us. And then finally, there is the word for the north, Safan. Here is an interesting word that gives us the idea of that which is concealed, that which is hidden, that which is mysterious. Sometimes that which is concealed and hidden from us, it is because it's dark, it's foreboding, and it's evil. It is the great unknown. As the descendants of Abraham, we are promised all of these things. We're going to arise and we're going to walk through them. Excuse me. We're going to have the times of leaning on the eternal principles. We're going to have the times of being a part of a great mass of people. We're going to find comfort in numbers. There are times that we're going to be tried and tested, and we're going to have what's in our heart revealed to us that we understand where we're really walking with him. And then there are those moments where we're going to have to face the unknown, the uncertain. Here in America, what's on the other side of the coming election is unknown, it's uncertain, it's foreboding, it's dark, it's mysterious. Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? Is it going to be both? Exactly how is this going to turn out? But the result of this is that we're going to rise, we're going to walk through this land, and we're going to possess it. What you and I live through and walk through is not meant to destroy us, but to teach us to be an overcomer, become victorious. Let's build on this again tomorrow. And until then, shalom.